Fortunately, the masked killer from Magenta has not returned to kill again. Quite some time has passed since Alberto's horrific murder, yet law enforcement, assisted by Vignati, the head of the Parma RIS, and former RIS chief Longobucco, remains on high alert. They urge residents of Magenta and neighboring towns not to wander alone in isolated areas. Furthermore, they encourage anyone who witnessed Alberto's brutal slaying to come forward without fear, guaranteeing anonymity, and to call the number displayed on your screen. Now, let's move on to the next story.
I'll be away for a while, at least 3 or 4 months, but I'll definitely be back. That's how I said goodbye to Antonia. She was upset, even though she'd actually been expecting it. It's not the first time I've been away, but never for this long. I told her while we were sitting on a bench in a small green space, just a patch of grass with 2 other benches and a few trees. The little park sits right next to a small church. Was it a coincidence? Perhaps. But the moment I broke the news, sad news for her, the bells began to ring out joyfully for several minutes. It struck me as odd, since I wasn't aware of any scheduled ceremonies that day. It was likely just a programming error by the sacristan. I'm glad you're telling me about this friend of yours, Antonia, Sergio. You'd never mentioned her before. How come? Asked Dr. Vanelli. There's no reason. I just feel like talking about it, that's all. The patient replied, sounding a bit annoyed. Marta Vanelli wrote in her leather-bound notebook. The patient has a friend who is very important to him. Someone who, in all likelihood, managed to get him to quit smoking. All right, Sergio. It doesn't matter to me *y*, but I've noticed that it is important to *you star. Isn't that so? Sergio didn't reply as he lay on the couch in the semi-darkness. He didn't say a word, and the doctor wrote, I confirm that Antonia is very important to Sergio, underlining the word *important star. As I understand it, you don't intend to continue telling me about the recurring nightmare that plagues your sleepless nights during today's session. The man replied with a curt, no. But I still haven't grasped the real reason that brought you to me. The nightmare haunting you stems from long ago. I can clearly surmise that it involves something terrible from your past. But if you can't bring yourself to finish telling me about it, session after session, I'll never be able to help you break free from it, so you can forget it forever and leave behind that awful experience. One I evidently don't know the details of yet. Or perhaps. Before continuing, Marta Vanelli tapped her pen lightly against the leather cover of her notebook, which she had temporarily closed. But she stopped immediately, noticing signs of growing agitation in her patient's breathing. Or perhaps there is something else you need to tell me. I am referring to that mysterious divine plan you mentioned in a previous session. Sergio began to pant. Whenever he did this, the doctor would grow apprehensive, sensing the onset of frightening, unusual reactions, a phrase the specialist had literally written in her notebook. Yet, strangely, the man did not storm out as he had on other occasions. Instead, he calmed down. Speaking in a low voice, one that seemed to belong to someone else, he said, You see, my dear doctor, you still haven't understood a thing. Yes, I want you to help me recall the dream. But I absolutely do not want to forget it afterward. It must remain in my heart and mind for every day of my sad life. I remember that terrible experience you speak of perfectly, in every last detail, but I will never tell you about it. It is thanks to the dream that I have the strength and power to complete the divine plan I have just begun. I came to you because you give me the support I need not to give up. And besides,